Attention Bears fans, don't go anywhere because what I have for you today is hot. First, we're going to talk about the brutal difference between our Caleb Williams and the Commanders rookie, Jayden Daniels. While Daniels is killing it with a 10-5 record, Williams is struggling in total chaos in Chicago. What's going on? Stay until the end to find out, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. But that's not all, we have more! What if I told you that Ben Johnson, the offensive mastermind of the Lions, could be our next head coach? Yes, just like you heard. But what does this mean for Ryan Poles, our general manager? Is this the change we need to get out of the rut? We're gonna break it all down, so don't go away and make sure to subscribe. And finally, what a night last night on Thursday Night Football. The Bears fell to the Seahawks, adding their 10th consecutive loss. Caleb Williams showed flashes of his potential, but the offensive line didn't help him at all. Is it time for a complete overhaul to take advantage of Williams' talent? Don't miss the details and leave your comments and opinions. Subscribe and leave your like for more Bears content. Today I bring you news that has us all talking, and not for the reasons we'd like. While rookie Jayden Daniels of the Washington Commanders has impressed everyone by leading his team to a 10-5 record, our Caleb Williams, the first overall draft pick, has had a debut season that leaves much to be desired. Why such a huge difference between the two? Let's break it down. Brian Baldinger, a well-known NFL Network analyst, talked with Dan Duggan of The Athletic about these two drastically different realities. And I'll tell you this, what Baldinger said makes a lot of sense. According to him, Jayden Daniels has thrived under the guidance of offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury. Why? Because he always seems to have an answer, a solution, no matter what the defense throws at him. If they blitz zero him, he knows exactly where he wants to throw the ball. He's an elite athlete, he can escape, he can make plays. But most importantly, he always has a short pass option, a check down to keep the confidence and rhythm of the game. Now I ask you, why hasn't Caleb Williams had the same luck? Well, according to Baldinger, the situation with the Bears has been a disaster. First, they fired offensive coordinator Shane Waldron, then promoted the quarterback's coach to offensive coordinator, and then fired head coach Matt Eberflus, elevating the offensive coordinator to head coach. It's total chaos! Williams has had to deal with brutal instability, and it shows in his performance. Let's go to the numbers, which don't lie. According to StatMuse, Daniels heads into the last weekend of December with 4,040 combined passing and rushing yards, ranking 8th in the NFL among qualified players. Additionally, he's tied for 8th with 28 combined passing and rushing touchdowns and has an adjusted QBR of 71.8, the 4th best among qualified passers according to ESPN. On the other hand, Williams is ranked 11th with 3,872 combined passing and rushing yards, tied for 17th with 19 total touchdowns, and a disastrous 30th with an adjusted QBR of 45.9, a huge difference. And let's not forget that Williams has been sacked 67 times this season, the most in the league. How can a quarterback develop under these conditions? He can't! Baldinger made it clear. The instability in the Bears coaching staff has been a disaster for Williams. DraftKings Sportsbook already has Jayden Daniels as the overwhelming favorite to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, with odds of minus 20,000. Meanwhile, we Bears fans are left wondering what's next. Albert Breer of Sports Illustrated mentioned that the Bears might be looking for a leader of men for their next head coach. But, as Baldinger rightly said, it's crucial that Chicago gets the right offensive mind to maximize Williams' talent in his second season. Now, I leave you with this question, fans. Do you think the Bears can find the right coach to develop Caleb Williams and turn this losing streak around? Leave me your comments and opinions. Now we have to talk about a topic that's on everyone's lips and could change the course of our team, the possible hiring of Ben Johnson as head coach. And I ask you, what would this mean for the future of our general manager, Ryan Poles? Let's break it down. At this point in the season, we Bears fans are used to expecting a restructuring in the offseason to address the team's issues. Once again, we've fallen short of expectations and haven't managed to develop another young quarterback. It's time to break these losing patterns, and all signs point to a potential solution: Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator of the Detroit Lions. Johnson has shown interest in the Bears' head coaching position, and his hiring could solve a significant dilemma, especially regarding Ryan Poles. Because Johnson has very clear criteria for accepting a head coaching role, and these criteria could jeopardize Poles' position. Ben Johnson's criteria for head coaching opportunities. Ben Johnson isn't looking for arrogance, but to ensure his long-term success. His two key requirements are alignment between the head coach and the general manager, an owner willing to identify weaknesses and address them aggressively. The Bears undoubtedly have issues both in the general management and ownership. While ownership is a separate conversation, let's focus on general management. Initially, Ryan Poles' rebuild strategy tearing down the roster to rebuild it seemed promising. However, while the teardown was executed, the rebuilding process has been much less successful. Overall record, 14-36.280 winning percentage. Key roster moves, replace David Montgomery, James Daniels, and Roquan Smith with DeAndre Swift, Nate Davis, and Tremaine Edmonds. Negligence, did not adequately address the needs of the offensive and defensive line. Disappointing trades, Chase Claypool, Ryan Bates, Dan Feeney, and N'Keal Harry. Coaching choices, hired Matt Eberflus and endured multiple coordinator firing. Draft problems, poor third-round picks Velus Jones Jr., Zach Pickens, Kieran Amagadije, no Pro Bowlers or All-Pros select. Division issues, a 2-15 record against NFC North opponents. Poles made a big move with the Panthers that brought us DJ Moore, Caleb Williams, Darnell Wright, and others. But can one good move justify his stay? I don't think so. Ben Johnson's demand for alignment between the head coach and general manager puts Poles' position at risk. If Johnson becomes the Bears' head coach, he could not only fill the coaching vacancy but also justify Poles' departure. The logical candidate to replace Poles is Ray Agnew, the Lions' assistant general manager, whose track record in Detroit shows how to build a solid foundation. Agnew's vision could bring much-needed cohesion to a franchise that desperately needs it. If the Bears keep Poles for another season, it's hard to imagine him suddenly making all the right decisions in free agency and the NFL draft. He's been smart with the Bears' finances, but not when it comes to building the roster. If the Bears want to save Caleb Williams, it's better to let Poles go before it's too late. Now I ask you, do you think hiring Ben Johnson could be the change we need to finally break our losing patterns? Is it time to say goodbye to Ryan Poles? Leave me your comments and opinion. What a night last night on Thursday Night Football. The Bears hosted the Seattle Seahawks, and although the game was close, in the end, the Seahawks kept their NFC West Division title hopes alive by handing the Bears their 10th consecutive loss of the season. What do you think? Let's break down what happened. Caleb Williams didn't have a dominant performance, but he showed flashes of his potential. He completed 16 of 28 passes for 122 yards, threw an interception the first in several weeks, and had a QBR of 24.4. Not impressive numbers, but on the field, Williams gave the team solid opportunities to move the ball, escaping constant pressure from the Seahawks defense. He made incredible second-chance plays with Rome Odunze, DeAndre Swift, and DJ Moore. However, one of the biggest problems for the Bears was the horrible performance of the offensive line. Williams was sacked 7 times and hit another 10 times. The Seahawks also managed 10 tackles for loss in the backfield. It wasn't just the sacks allowed and poor blocking, but the overall bad play. The most important play of the game was when Williams rolled to his left and threw a beautiful pass to Odunze for a 17-yard touchdown late in the second quarter. That touchdown pass was nullified by a holding call on left guard Jake Curhan. The Bears had to settle for a field goal, their only score of the game. The Bears started the season with serious hopes of making the NFC playoffs. The roster was strong, the defense seemed elite, and the Bears had weapons for a growing rookie quarterback. But as we've seen before, nothing brings down a team like bad coaching and poor front office decisions. This declining season can be attributed to poor decisions made by ownership, general manager Ryan Poles, and former head coach Matt Eberflus. Ownership doesn't seem to take the team on the field seriously. Poles has been too open to giving Eberflus a third shot in the NFL instead of going for interested coaches like Jim Harbaugh. Finally, Eberflus's poor coaching and offensive coordinator Shane Waldron have limited the offense's potential. Among those who spoke about the Bears' disappointing result is Colin Cowherd of Fox Sports, who, in a reaction video on YouTube, didn't hold back. He said, "Caleb Williams has thrown for 300 yards 4 times this season. That's more than Patrick Mahomes. That's remarkable. Tonight, he had an interception for the first time in a long time. No one could have succeeded with this team and this season. They're basically using their third different person to put together the game plan this year. It's a circus. It's an absolute circus. He's still the youngest quarterback in the NFC. He has unlimited talent. He made a couple of really good throws tonight. Caleb has all kinds of talent, but there's nothing you can do with this franchise. There's nothing I like about it. Fans, the situation is critical. Caleb Williams has the talent, but the team and management aren't up to par. I ask you, do you think it's possible to turn this situation around with the right changes in management and the coaching staff? Is it time for a complete overhaul to take advantage of Williams' potential? Leave me your comments and opinions! Chicago Bears fans, I leave you with this question. Do you think the Bears can find the right coach to develop Caleb Williams and turn this losing streak around? The hiring of Ben Johnson has generated a lot of expectations. Do you think it could be the change we need to finally break our losing patterns? Also, do you think it's possible to turn this situation around with the right changes in management and the coaching staff? Is it time for a complete overhaul to take advantage of Williams' potential? If you're as passionate as we are about seeing the Bears succeed, join our community, subscribe to the channel, comment your opinions, and be part of this family of fans. We'd love to hear your thoughts and share this passion with you. Don't forget to subscribe and leave your comment. Go Bears!